What if the area of your life that feels the most intense is actually your greatest portal to wealth? The eighth house is where your soul holds power, secrets, and potential you haven't fully claimed yet. It's not where you manifest from the surface, it's where you transmute, where you alchemize. It's where you unlock generational power that was once buried beneath fear, shame, or silence. Your eighth house reveals how you are energetically built to hold, receive, and magnetize wealth. It's the energetic vault your soul chose for transformation. In this video, we're going to unlock the hidden wealth frequency of every zodiac sign in the eighth house. We'll discuss what you need to release, what your soul came here to reclaim, and how to transmute scarcity, survival patterns, and energetic leaks into true wealth magnetism. So grab your birth chart, find the sign or signs where your eighth house sits, and let's dive in.
Aries in the eighth house means your wealth frequency is about fierce focus and unapologetic power. With Aries in the eighth house, you carry the soul of a spiritual warrior. This placement gives you powerful instincts for survival, sovereignty, and initiation. You're not here to tiptoe around transformation. You're here to charge into it. Your ability to go deep, fast, and unapologetically gives you an edge in manifesting what others are too afraid to ask for. You hold an inner fire that can break generational cycles, ignite ancestral healing, and move stuck energy into action. Your wealth frequency is activated when you stop waiting for permission and start claiming what's yours. You are a force of energetic renewal, but when that fire is turned inward, it can burn you from the inside out. Unhealed, this placement can attract financial instability, power struggles, or emotionally volatile relationships that mirror a suppressed inner rage. You may resist intimacy, push away support, or feel like you have to go it alone. But Aries in the eighth house isn't here to suffer solo. You're here to learn how to lead without dominating, heal without isolating, and manifest without burning out. At some point in your story, this life or another, you learn that intimacy can be dangerous, that needing others makes you weak, that letting your guard down means losing control. But these beliefs are keeping you stuck in hyper-independence, which is a trauma response dressed up as strength. To unlock your wealth and magnetism, you must stop equating connection with disempowerment. Your true strength lies not in isolation, but in integration. There's a few points that are ready to be released with this placement. One being the belief that vulnerability equals weakness. The fear of being overpowered or consumed by others' energy. Impulsive reactions that sabotage long-term emotional or financial stability. The subconscious pattern of burning bridges before being abandoned. Shame around needing help, rest, or emotional nourishment, as well as avoidance of long-term intimacy or shared resources due to control issues. Release the identity that was built on hypervigilance and self-protection. You are allowed to soften and still be strong. Aries in the 8th house invites you to reclaim the parts of yourself that are fiery, fearless, and free, but also connected, nourished, and held. You're not here to prove your independence. You're here to awaken your impact. This placement invites you to reclaim passion as a sacred power source, not something to suppress. Reclaiming support as a tool for expansion, not weakness. Reclaiming the ability to take up space emotionally, sexually, and financially. Reclaiming directness and honesty in emotional and energetic exchanges. Courage to lead even in the depths of transformation. And reclaiming initiative in healing family money stories or trauma patterns. When your 8th house Aries energy is aligned, you become unstoppable. Not because you dominate, but because you are divinely directed. With Aries in the 8th house, your ability to manifest isn't passive, it's primally charged. You don't attract wealth by playing it safe or waiting your turn. You magnetize abundance when you take bold, soul-aligned risk that liberate you from cycles of survival mode. But first, you must clear the subconscious programs that keep you fighting for scraps, proving your worth, or doing everything alone. Your healing path isn't about hustling harder. It's about learning to trust your instincts without letting trauma run the show. Wealth flows when your fire is focused, your power is reclaimed, and your inner warrior becomes your inner alchemist. The first step to achieving this is to break the trauma loop of earn or be nothing. You've likely been wired to believe you must fight to deserve anything, especially money. This belief is blocking ease and overflow. Practice asking, what would I create if I stopped trying to prove myself? Let your actions come from desire, not desperation. Next is to turn impulse into intuition-led action. You are a manifesting generator of ideas and bold visions. But without grounding, you burn out before results come. Channel your spontaneity into strategic action by pairing your fire with intentional follow-through. Let wealth build through sustained momentum, not just burst. Next is to heal the fear that money will cost you your freedom. Deep down, you may associate wealth with being controlled, trapped, or tied down. Rewrite the story. Money is not a leash, it's a launch pad. Wealth gives you choice, agency, and power to create life on your terms. Next is to invest in energetic sovereignty, not just survival. It's time to stop manifesting from, I need to make it through, and start manifesting from, I'm building something sacred. Let go of crisis-based action. Practice resourcing your nervous system before the emergency hits. This opens the field for sustainable wealth to land. Next is to claim space in the world without shrinking for anyone. Your power is magnetic when you own it. Let yourself ask for more visibility, higher rates, better opportunities. The universe mirrors your certainty. Don't wait to be chosen. Declare your place. And finally, use your rage as fuel, not fireworks. If there's old anger around being unsupported or underpaid, honor it. Let it clarify your standards, but don't let it close your heart. Wealth grows in environments of trust, not tension. Redirect your fire into focused intention. A great affirmation for your Aries-ruled 8th house is, my fire manifests fortune. I am no longer fighting to survive. I am claiming the life that was always mine. I take up space, call in wealth, and lead from soul. Let's make this a chart therapy session and share your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, be sure to hit like, send this to your besties, and subscribe so you never miss your cosmic upgrade. And if you're ready to stop second-guessing yourself, my higher self activation will guide you into the confidence and clarity of your truest self. The links are below. Be sure to check it out. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. With Taurus ruling your 8th house, your wealth frequency is deeply tied to embodiment, nervous system regulation, and the sacred capacity to receive without fear. You're not meant to chase abundance. You're meant to become a steady container for it. Your greatest magnetism comes from your ability to stay rooted while life transforms you. This is the house of energetic merging, deep intimacy, and emotional alchemy. Taurus here teaches you that safety is not in what you hold on to, but in who you become when you stop clenching. Wealth comes when you allow yourself to soften into trust, pleasure, and self-worth. But you've likely been conditioned to equate safety with control and worth with output. Your journey is about alchemizing scarcity into stability and fear into fertile ground. This placement often reveals a subconscious attachment to comfort, routines, or identities that appear stable but are actually limiting your expansion. The 8th house is about evolution through surrender, but Taurus doesn't let go easily. When these forces collide, you may resist change, even when your soul is begging for it. This placement asks you to unhook from fear of letting go of what's familiar. You may stay in relationships, jobs, or money dynamics far past their expiration date because they feel safe, even if they're draining you. Scarcity makes you settle. This pattern needs to go. Next, valuing possession over alignment. You may be more focused on keeping what you have then asking if it truly serves you. Do you believe your worth depends on what you own, control, or maintain? Another is releasing energetic hoarding. Emotionally, you may store unresolved wounds in your body, heart, or finances. There's often fear around purging. What happens if I let this go? Will I still be supported? Next is releasing control through overfunctioning. You've learned to be the stable one, the unshakable one, the one who doesn't need much. But behind that strength is often a fear of collapsing if you ask for more. Next is avoiding emotional intimacy in the name of independence. There may be a hidden fear of needing others. True abundance requires vulnerability. Wealth in the 8th house isn't solo, it's soul deep interconnection. This house demands trusting what you cannot see yet. You cannot manifest your next level while gripping the last one with both hands. You are here to become a channel for stable abundance, not through hustling, but through aligned receiving. Taurus in the 8th invites you to reclaim your ability to hold wealth through pleasure, to receive love without self-sacrifice, and to let your body be the vessel of your magnetism. This placement invites you to reclaim your right to be taken care of. You don't have to earn support by doing more, fixing everything, or being low maintenance. Reclaim the part of you that feels safe receiving, not just giving. Next is reclaiming the sacred frequency of pleasure. Your nervous system deserves softness. Pleasure isn't a distraction. It's a wealth portal. You manifest more when you let your body lead with yes. Next is reclaiming abundance as an energetic state, not a transaction. You don't have to trade your peace for prosperity. What you embody is what you attract. When you feel safe inside your own skin, money responds. Next is reclaiming the power of subtle somatic alignment. You don't have to be loud to be magnetic. Your power is in the stillness. You are the eye of the storm. Wealth comes when you stop chasing and start aligning. And you're also being invited to reclaim stability that comes from within and not external conditions. You're not here to rely on the rules of the world. Your wealth grows when you know your worth, regardless of the market, the relationship, or the role. Taurus in the 8th house is about becoming unshakable on a soul level. That's what makes you rich, not just materially, but emotionally and spiritually. When your nervous system is regulated, your aura becomes receptive. And when you feel safe, you stop blocking wealth with hypervigilance or survival loops. The first step to achieving this is to shift from accumulation to alignment. Stop collecting relationships, tasks, and opportunities just because they feel safe. Ask, does this expand me or is it just familiar? Let go of anything that clutters your energy, even if it once felt secure. Next is to create sacred stillness to hear your soul's yes. Wealth for you begins in silence. Carve space in your day for slow mornings, embodied rituals, or grounding touch. Stillness isn't laziness. It's the soil where miracles grow. Next is to anchor into sensory rituals that signal, I'm safe. Wrap yourself in fabrics you love. Light a candle that smells like safety. Take slow sips of tea. Wealth needs a home to land in, and that home is your body. Next is to detach your worth from what you produce. You are not just a provider. You are a receiver. Every time you allow yourself to rest without guilt, you affirm to the universe, I am worthy of more without doing more. Next is to transmute scarcity through pleasure. Pleasure is your medicine. The more you allow sensuality, slowness, and beauty into your daily life, the more you unwind your nervous system patterns that tell you abundance isn't safe. And finally, root into self-trust when the old falls away. The 8th house will initiate you into cycles of death and rebirth. When the ground shakes, go deeper. Anchor into your values. Ground into your knowing. This is how your next level wealth is born. A great affirmation for your Taurus-ruled 8th house is, I no longer fear change. I become the stability I seek. Wealth flows to me through trust, pleasure, and divine alignment. My worth is rooted, sacred, and non-negotiable. Be sure to let me know what resonated most with you in the comments. And of course, tap that like button, share the vibes, and subscribe so the stars always find you. And you don't have to keep guessing who you are. My As Above, So Within guided journal helps you get real about what you want and what you're here for. So be sure to grab it. The links are below. I appreciate you. And thanks so much for watching. With Gemini ruling your 8th house, your wealth frequency is directly tied to truth-telling, mental clarity, and transparent communication. You're here to transform yourself and others through the power of language and energetic exchange. You magnetize abundance not by knowing everything, but by speaking from your soul. This placement makes you highly mentally alert in emotionally charged spaces. But this brilliance often turns inward as overanalysis, self-questioning, or energetic leaking through over-talking and under-trusting. The mind tries to manage what only the body can process. Gemini in the 8th house wants to heal the fracture between what you say and what you feel, what you think and what you receive. You're here to create mental spaciousness, nervous system trust, and energetic precision, because that is what allows abundance to land. When Gemini sits in the 8th house, the mind can become the escape hatch from vulnerability. It becomes easier to talk about transformation than to feel it, easier to research intimacy than to surrender to it. With this placement, the biggest energy leaks often come from over talking your emotions instead of feeling them. So there may be a tendency to narrate emotions from a distance instead of being with them in real time. You may intellectualize healing, which blocks embodiment, and embodiment is where wealth lives. Another is energetic leakage through oversharing or withholding. You may feel compelled to say everything or nothing, blurting, confessing, or mentally filtering so much that your voice no longer reflects your truth. This disconnection creates chaos in your aura. Another is fear of being misunderstood, equating fear of being exposed. Because Gemini is linked to perception, there is often fear that if you're not clear, you'll be punished, abandoned, or attacked. This can create anxious over-explaining or people-pleasing to avoid rupture. Another is information overload as a defense mechanism. So you may bury yourself in research, plans, spiritual teachings, or podcasts, anything to stay ahead of pain. But this blocks wealth. Manifestation lives in the body, not the library. Another is distrusting your intuition because the mind is louder. There may be a learned habit of second-guessing your instincts. You know what's right, but the mind inserts doubt, what ifs, and feedback loops that keep you from taking action. Until your inner dialogue becomes clear, consistent, and energetically congruent, your wealth signal stays scrambled. You're meant to be a powerful messenger, channel, and translator of emotional truth. Your voice carries codes. Your presence is a portal. When your energy is anchored and your communication is clean, abundance flows effortlessly. This placement invites you to reclaim the frequency of trust in communication. You're allowed to say what you mean, even if it's messy or evolving. You don't have to earn love through polished language. Your truth is magnetic. You're also invited to reclaim your right to be understood without over-explaining. You don't have to translate your soul to be worthy. Begin practicing the vibration of, I can be fully seen and still safe. That's where the money lives. Another is to reclaim mental stillness as a wealth practice. Give yourself permission to not think everything through. Some portals only open when you're quiet enough to hear your intuition whisper. You're also reclaiming selective transparency that heals, not performs. You are naturally curious and expressive, but not everyone deserves access to your underworld. Reclaim the power of intentional intimacy, truth that connects, not drains. Also, you are reclaiming confidence in your voice as a healing instrument. Whether spoken, written, sung, or channeled, your voice is currency. Wealth is waiting to respond to the moment you stop editing your brilliance. Gemini in the 8th house is learning to unclench the mind so the soul can breathe. Wealth doesn't respond to frantic logic. It responds to clear signal, embodied presence, and spiritual resonance. The first step to achieving this is to anchor your energy before you speak or share. Practice pausing before answering questions, texting back, or posting. Ask, is this coming from clarity or from fear? You'll begin to notice how much energy you're spending just trying to be understood. Next is to reprogram scarcity loops through breath work and voice. Breath connects the mind and body. Try daily breath work paired with mantras or out loud affirmations like, I am safe to receive without knowing everything. I trust my voice. Next is to speak your truth in low stakes places first. Practice honest communication with safe people in your journal or in voice notes. Build the muscle of being emotionally real, even if it feels awkward at first. Wealth responds to resonance. Next is to create rituals that recalibrate mental energy. Gemini energy needs to move. Try morning thought dumps in writing, followed by stillness. Let your mind empty before you try to manifest. The channel must be clear to receive. Next is to audit your energy leaks in conversations. Ask, where am I oversharing to be liked? Where am I withholding to avoid vulnerability? Clean communication equals clean manifestation. And finally, let curiosity lead you to wealth, not away from it. You are gifted with curiosity. Use it to explore your inner world. Ask better questions, such as, what does abundance feel like in my body? What do I need to believe to receive more? A great affirmation for your Gemini-ruled 8th house is, I trust the power of my voice. My truth is safe. My message is sacred. And my energy is magnetic. I receive abundance with clarity, ease, and full self-permission. This is your cosmic check-in. Be sure to drop your thoughts and takeaways in the comments. And of course, love on this video with a like, spread the magic, and subscribe so the universe keeps sending you these vibes. And your chart already holds the answers. My As Above, So Within guided journal helps you pull them out and put them on paper so you can finally see who you're becoming. So be sure to check it out. The links are below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. When Cancer sits in your 8th house, wealth is an emotional experience. Your nervous system is the vault. Safety, belonging, emotional attunement. These are your currency. You attract abundance when you feel deeply rooted in yourself. When your inner world is held with tenderness and trust. This is an energy that stores everything. Old heartbreaks, ancestral grief, unmet needs, financial fear passed down through generations. And until those energies are processed and released, they live in your energetic field, creating subconscious blockages to wealth, love, intimacy, and ease. But the truth is that your soul came here to transmute those energies into nourishment, to turn pain into power, to transform emotional memory into magnetism. Your money isn't just about numbers. It's about your nervous system's capacity to feel safe, supported, and worthy of more. Cancer in the 8th house often carries emotional energy that isn't yours. Your body remembers what your ancestors couldn't heal. You feel responsible for protecting everyone else from the pain you quietly carry. Letting go isn't just a mindset. It's a sacred detox. With this placement, there's a few areas of your life that need to be released. One of them being emotional hoarding of past wounds. So you may replay painful memories, betrayals, or abandonment like a protective ritual, subconsciously believing that holding on to pain keeps you safe from repeating patterns. But it only clogs your field. Next is releasing inherited scarcity or financial trauma. This placement often holds ancestral money fear. Stories like, money causes fights, you must suffer to earn, or if we receive too much, someone else goes without. These patterns are outdated, and you're the one chosen to break them. Next is releasing the fear of depending on others. You might crave closeness, but also fear being vulnerable. The wound says, if I let someone support me, they'll control me or leave. This leads to hyper-independence and over-responsibility in love and finances. This is also about releasing hyper-attunement to others' emotional needs. Your emotional intelligence is powerful, but when left unchecked, it turns into energetic overfunctioning. You may become the emotional caretaker, leaking your life force, trying to fix everyone else's emotional chaos. This placement invites you to reclaim the parts of you that have been emotionally exiled, hidden, or guarded. You're not here to build wealth from survival mode. You're here to receive from softness, presence, and truth. This placement invites you to reclaim emotional boundaries that create magnetic presence. You are allowed to protect your energy. Boundaries aren't walls. They are invitations for aligned intimacy. When your field is clear, your desires can land. You're also being invited to reclaim the power to feel without collapsing. You are safe to feel deeply without drowning. Your emotional range is a gift, not a curse. Healing isn't about numbing, it's about letting energy move through you, not rule you. Next is reclaiming nourishment over obligation in every exchange. Start asking, does this relationship feed me or drain me? Does this opportunity feel safe or extractive? You're allowed to choose wealth that feels good, not just looks good. Next is reclaiming the right to be cared for without guilt. Let yourself be held. Let yourself receive. You don't have to mother everyone to be loved. You are worthy of support that feels nourishing, not burdensome. You're also reclaiming the emotional wisdom you carry as wealth. Your instincts are sacred. You feel things others don't even notice. Trust that your emotional radar is a money-making gift when it's connected to your higher self and not your past wounds. This placement requires an emotional alchemy practice. You're learning to let feelings move, not manage you. Manifestation here is about creating a foundation of inner safety, emotional clarity, and permission to be supported. The first step to achieving this is to release ancestral stories through ritual or somatic practice. Write a letter to your maternal or ancestral line around money. What were their fears? What patterns did you inherit? What are you ready to let go of? Burn or bury it under the moon. Let the emotional tether dissolve. Next is to work with water to heal stored emotion. Take intentional salt baths. Cry consciously, or drink water with affirmations like, I am safe to receive. I am supported. I release what's no longer mine. Water is your element. It knows how to move memory. Next is to practice receiving through the body, not the mind. Close your eyes. Place your hand on your heart and say out loud, it is safe to feel. It is safe to let go. It is safe to be supported. Let your body speak louder than old fear loops. Next is to notice when you're fixing instead of feeling. When someone expresses pain, pause before offering advice or comfort. Ask, am I trying to fix their discomfort because it activates mine? This breaks the over-caring loop. Next is to reparent yourself around money. Start tracking where your inner child gets triggered around receiving. Do you feel selfish, greedy, unsafe? Create new internal dialogues like, my desires are sacred. Receiving doesn't make me bad. I am worthy of ease. A great affirmation for your Cancer-ruled 8th house is, I am safe to receive. My emotions are sacred. My softness is strength. And my wealth grows from a place of truth and trust. Be sure to let me know what part hit home for you in the comments below. And of course, if this lit you up, hit like, share it with your soul squad, and subscribe so you never miss the next download. And if you're tired of repeating old patterns, my Venus Activation Journal walks you through reconnecting with your self-worth and rewriting your love story from the inside out. So be sure to grab it. The links are below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. If you have Leo in the 8th house, you were born to radiate, but only after reclaiming the parts of you that were shamed, silenced, or dimmed in the name of survival. This is a placement of energetic magnetism that has nothing to do with performance and everything to do with presence. When your inner light is aligned with truth, not ego, you become the frequency others can't look away from. This is wealth that arrives when you fully own your power, not the curated version, not the watered down self, but the version of you that speaks with soul, feels without apology, and dares to be adored without fear of losing control. Your ability to manifest is directly tied to your willingness to be seen as powerful and emotionally real at the same time. You are a channel for divine confidence, but the path here often includes betrayals, abandonment, or intimate wounds that made your light feel dangerous, like something that must be hidden or something others want to take from you. That ends now. This placement carries subconscious shame around shining, whether through childhood dynamics, sexual experiences, or intimate betrayals. You may have internalized the belief that your light causes harm, or that being too visible leads to manipulation or loss. To reclaim your wealth frequency, there are some core patterns that need to be released. First is fear that power will be punished. Somewhere in your lineage or lived experience, you were taught, don't shine too bright. Don't outshine others. Or worse, you were burned by someone who envied your radiance. This created a trauma loop that links being powerful with being targeted. Next is overperforming for validation or emotional safety. You may feel like you have to constantly do, entertain, or be interesting to stay safe in relationships. The root belief is, if I stop dazzling, they'll leave. This blocks true intimacy and energetic receptivity. Next is attachment to control as a form of self-protection. When your vulnerability was once exploited, you learned to script, control, or emotionally perform instead of reveal. But this masks your true power, the ability to be fully seen and still fully safe. Next is to release deep grief around being misunderstood. Many with this placement carry unspoken grief. No one sees the real me. You may draw people in with your energy, but feel alone in your emotional truth. This creates walls that block both love and abundance. This placement invites you to reclaim the unapologetic parts of you that long to be loved in their raw, regal, emotional truth. Your wealth doesn't come from being impressive. It comes from being intimately connected to your soul's radiance. This placement invites you to reclaim your right to be worshipped without shame. You are worthy of being adored for exactly who you are, not just for what you give. Let yourself receive praise, recognition, and wealth without suspicion or guilt. Next is to reclaim creative power as an intimate exchange. Your art, your expression, your energy, it's sacred. When you stop hiding it or over-polishing it, the real magnetism kicks in. Manifestation becomes effortless when you lead with your unfiltered essence. Next is to reclaim visibility as a path to soul-level intimacy. Your vulnerability isn't weakness, it's your crown. You create the deepest bonds when you stop curating and start revealing. Let people meet the whole you, the light and the fear. Next is to reclaim unshakable self-love that isn't dependent on applause. You don't need to be chosen to be valuable. You don't need permission to shine. Your worth is intrinsic, and the more you remember that, the more abundance flows. Next is to reclaim the alchemical fire that turns rejection into radiance. You are not here to stay small, to stay safe. You're here to turn every betrayal, heartbreak, or emotional death into new art, new wisdom, and new wealth. Manifesting wealth with this placement means letting go of performative energy and stepping into true anchored power. You must stop scripting yourself for survival and start trusting that your raw truth is what opens doors, not your ability to be impressive. The first step to achieving this is to heal your relationship with emotional visibility. Where have you been hiding behind a curated identity? Who are you when you're not performing strength, confidence, or control? Practice being seen in your softness, not just your sparkle. Next is to transmute shame into self-devotion. Make a list of moments where your light was dimmed by others. Then rewrite the narrative. They tried to shame me because they couldn't hold me. Burn the list. Reclaim your narrative. Next is to channel your pain into creative expression. This is Leo energy. Your heart needs an outlet. Write, dance, speak, film, paint, cry, but move the energy. When you alchemize pain into art, you unlock wealth beyond logic. Next is to practice receiving without earning. You don't have to sparkle for your needs to be met. Let someone praise you, pay you, or support you without minimizing it. Stay open, stay soft, stay seated on your throne. And finally, rebuild intimacy with your inner child. What did they need to hear that they never did? Speak to that child daily. Tell them, you're not too much. Your light doesn't hurt people. You are allowed to be adored. Your abundance begins with inner belonging. A great affirmation for your Leo-ruled 8th house is, I am safe to shine. I am safe to feel. I am safe to be worshipped and well supported in my most radiant, emotionally honest truth. The floor is yours. Be sure to let me know what part of this video spoke straight to your soul. And of course, give this video some love, share it with your soul tribe, and subscribe for more magic. And if you're ready to stop outsourcing your worth and to finally come home to yourself, my Venus Activation Journal guides you through your Venus sign and house so you can rewire how you see and love yourself. So be sure to check it out. The links are below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. If you have Virgo in the 8th house, your power lies in your clarity, precision and energetic hygiene, but only once you stop trying to fix or purify yourself into worthiness. Your wealth frequency is directly tied to how well you discern what's truly yours to heal and what isn't. You're here to master energetic refinement, not perfection. The 8th house wants you to go deep, but Virgo wants to clean things up. This can create a cycle of compulsive healing, emotional overanalysis, or believing that unless you've mastered every shadow, you can't manifest. But the truth is, your abundance isn't found in being flawless. It's found in being deeply honest and energetically aligned. You are a sacred vessel. When you stop trying to fix everything and start trusting your inner wisdom, your energy becomes pure magnetism. You draw in wealth, intimacy, and transformation, not because you've earned it through effort, but because you've cleared what's not aligned. This placement often carries deep subconscious programming around being clean, pure, or perfect before you're allowed to receive. But the 8th house doesn't operate through logic. It transforms through surrender, soul alchemy, and energetic truth. Some of the patterns that block your wealth and intimacy includes the belief that you're never healed enough. So you may carry the quiet belief that something is always wrong with you, something unhealed, unworthy, or unclean. This creates an obsessive loop of fixing, analyzing, and micromanaging your inner world to deserve abundance or love. Another is hyper-responsibility for other people's pain. You likely learn to cope by being useful, helpful, or self-sacrificing. But this turns your body and energy field into a sponge for other people's trauma. It's not your job to be everyone's healer. Boundaries are not betrayal. They are sacred. Another is overthinking instead of energetic trust. You may try to think your way through transformation, but some things aren't logical. They're emotional, spiritual, primal. Virgo here can block the full depth of the 8th house by keeping you stuck in analysis instead of surrender. Another is shame around desires that don't feel pure. Whether it's wealth, sex, power, or recognition, your desires may come with guilt. You've internalized the belief that wanting too much makes you selfish or dirty. But your desire is divine direction, and it's time to honor it. This placement invites you to reclaim your sacred discernment, your ability to know what's yours, what's not, and what actually deserves your healing energy. You're not here to absorb and transmute everyone's chaos. You're here to become a clear, aligned vessel through which divine transformation flows without draining you. This placement invites you to reclaim the right to be whole without being finished. You don't need to be completely healed to be deeply magnetic. You don't need to earn your next breakthrough through self-punishment. You are whole now. Next is reclaiming healing that supports you first. You don't need to martyr yourself to be worthy. You are allowed to prioritize your healing, your rest, your body, your peace. That's where your clarity and your wealth comes from. You're also here to reclaim your desire as a sacred compass, not a flaw. Let your longings speak. Let your wants breathe. You are allowed to desire beauty, wealth, luxury, love, transformation without guilt. Your desire is clean. You're also here to reclaim trust in the unexplainable. You are safe to let go of logic when it comes to manifestation. Wealth doesn't always arrive through calculated plans. It often flows through surrendered alignment. Also, reclaiming the power to say no without explanation. Your no is enough. Your boundaries are medicine. You are allowed to reject energy, relationships, and patterns that cloud your inner clarity. It's not cruelty, it's sacred containment. Virgo in the 8th house heals when you stop leaking energy into hypervigilance, self-punishment, or emotional micromanagement. Your abundance is trying to find you, but it needs a clear field to land in. Healing begins when you realize you don't have to do more. You have to hold less of what isn't yours. The first step to achieving this is to clear energy, not just emotions. This is less about deep diving into wounds and more about cleansing what doesn't belong. Practice cord cutting, spiritual hygiene, and removing outdated obligations from your energy field. Next is to stop earning worth through overwork. Say no to proving. Say no to over-efforting. Practice letting ease in without guilt. Let your nervous system experience peace without performance. This is how wealth begins to trust you. Next is to let your body set the pace. Virgo is a body-based sign. Tune into your digestion, your cycles, your tension. Where are you clenching out of fear? Where are you holding on out of guilt? Let your body lead your healing timeline. Next is to create sacred systems that support your power. You are deeply gifted at creating rituals, routines, and healing spaces. Use that power for yourself. Build daily practices that keep your field clear, grounded, and open to receive. And finally, use discernment as a manifestation tool. Not everything deserves your time. Not everyone deserves your access. The clearer you are on what drains you, the faster wealth flows. Call your energy back. Reclaim your field. A great affirmation for your Virgo-ruled 8th house is, my energy is sacred. I release what is not mine to carry. I am worthy of peace, clarity, and wealth without fixing myself first. Be sure to let me know what part hit home for you in the comments below. And of course, give this video some love, share it with your soul tribe, and subscribe for more magic. If you're craving an energetic reset, my Higher Self Activation audio and workbook helps you release fear and anchor into the version of you who knows exactly who she is. So be sure to check it out. The links are below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. If you have Libra in the 8th house, your wealth frequency is directly linked to your ability to stop abandoning yourself for the sake of harmony. You are magnetic, attractive, energetically captivating. But if you've been taught that love equals sacrifice, you may unconsciously suppress your needs to keep the peace, and in doing so, block your own abundance. This is the placement of energetic merging, of karmic contracts in love, of intimacy that tests your ability to stay in your center while deeply connected to others. You came here to master the arts of mutual power, not people-pleasing, self-erasure, or emotional avoidance dressed as diplomacy. Once you stop negotiating your self-worth for closeness, your field becomes crystal clear. Your relationships deepen, your money multiplies, and your inner world no longer needs approval to feel safe. At some point, your nervous system linked emotional peace with self-abandonment. You learn to avoid conflict, tiptoe around tension, and present a pleasing version of yourself in order to be loved, chosen, or safe. But this created a deep energetic leak, and the 8th house won't allow that for long. What blocks your wealth and healing with this placement is confusing peace with avoidance. Not every smile is true. Not every silence is sacred. You may shut down or sugarcoat your emotional truth in order to avoid confrontation. But this keeps your inner world in a pressure cooker. Wealth needs authenticity to flow. Another block is giving to be chosen. You may overgive, over-accommodate, or emotionally contort yourself to earn a place in someone's life. This trains your body to associate love with effort and blocks the frequency of effortless divine support. Another block is making other people's needs more important than yours. You may struggle to feel like your needs matter, especially when others are hurting. But staying in emotional over-responsibility keeps your wealth and vitality entangled in karmic cycles of depletion. Another block is staying in relationships that feel fair but not aligned. Libra here can convince you to stay in dynamics that look balanced on paper but feel energetically wrong. It's not about equality, it's about equilibrium of the soul. This placement invites you to reclaim your ability to stay centered and powerful inside partnership, not through control or avoidance, but through radical self-trust. Your abundance flows when your truth is not for sale. This placement invites you to reclaim your inner balance before external harmony. You're allowed to feel what you feel, even if it's messy, even if it disrupts peace. Honoring your emotional truth is the highest act of self-loyalty. This placement also invites you to reclaim love without sacrifice. Real love honors your wholeness. You don't have to shrink, edit, or suppress to be loved. When you stand fully in your power, the right relationships rise to meet you. Next is to reclaim boundaries as beauty. Your no is magnetic. Your clarity creates attraction. When you stop leaking energy trying to be liked, your presence becomes electric. Another is reclaiming the right to ask for more. You are allowed to have high standards, to expect depth, to want partnership that meets you in soul and substance. Settling is not serenity, it's self-betrayal. Now, you're also being called to reclaim reciprocity as a spiritual law. Stop pouring into cups that never pour back. Start aligning with connections, opportunities, and resources that mirror your energetic contribution. Libra in the 8th house heals when you stop performing politeness and start practicing radical energetic justice. That means not giving more than you receive, not hiding your truth to avoid tension, and not equating love with emotional shapeshifting. Your wealth is directly tied to how well you hold your own center in intimacy and exchange. The first step to achieving this is to use boundaries to create safe wealth containers. Just like relationships, your money also needs boundaries. Stop saying yes to work that drains you. Release partnerships that dilute your power. Build sacred financial containers that respect your worth. Next is to cut cords with approval-based identity. Who are you when no one is clapping? Can you stay rooted in your truth even when it disrupts others? Begin detaching from the need to be liked and instead focus on being energetically clear. Next is to ask for what you want without apologizing. This is your era of direct ask and divine compensation. Practice stating what you need. Ask for the rate you desire. Let the universe meet you where you stand without shrinking. Next is to rewrite the story that conflict means rejection. Not all rupture leads to loss. Begin to trust that truth can deepen connection. And even if it doesn't, it always deepens you. And that's wealth. Finally, create money through relationships that feel good. You are here to co-create, to collaborate, and to exchange, but only when it feels emotionally aligned. Let your partnerships be your portals to prosperity, not your prisons. A great affirmation for your Libra-ruled 8th house is, I honor my truth over approval. My energy is sacred. My love is sovereign. And my wealth flows through relationships that meet me fully. Be sure to let me know what part hit home for you in the comments below. And of course, your 3-second ritual: like, share, and subscribe to keep this energy coming your way. And if you're tired of repeating old patterns, my Venus Activation Journal walks you through reconnecting with your self-worth and rewriting your love story from the inside out. So be sure to grab it. The links are below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. If you have Scorpio in the 8th house, you were born to turn pain into power, intensity into intuition, and darkness into divine gold. You have walked through emotional fire, maybe lifetimes of it, but inside you lives a mystic, an alchemist, and a gatekeeper of hidden wealth. Your abundance is not about surface level manifestation. It's about soul integrity, power reclamation, learning to trust yourself even when everything around you feels like it's dying, shifting, or burning to the ground. You're not meant to chase quick wins. You're here to own the frequency of inevitable transformation. When you stop fearing what you feel, when you stop avoiding your depth, when you stop giving your energy to connections that drain and control, you unlock wealth so magnetic, it doesn't just change your bank account, it changes your life. Scorpio in the 8th house carries a karmic curriculum of power, betrayal, emotional survival, and energetic merging. You've likely learned to either grip tight or disassociate completely when things feel unsafe. But in doing so, you may have trapped your wealth, your sensuality, and your creative energy beneath layers of emotional armor. Some of the main blocks to your healing and abundance with this placement is controlling to avoid abandonment. You may try to read others' energy before they hurt you. You scan for threats. You give more than you have to stay needed. But staying in control keeps you out of true intimacy and blocks the deep surrender this house requires. Another block is fearing the collapse. You may be terrified of what will happen if you stop performing strength. But falling apart is sometimes part of falling into alignment. This placement wants ego death, not emotional perfection. Another block is confusing intensity with connection. If you grew up in chaos or trauma, you may equate high emotional charge in love. But your soul came here to learn stillness, safety, real union, not addiction masked as devotion. Another block is energetic enmeshment. You may unconsciously carry others' pain, especially in love. Psychic merging, emotional codependence, or shared trauma loops can keep you locked in scarcity and exhaustion. This placement invites you to reclaim your role as an energetic alchemist, a being who doesn't run from darkness, but becomes light through it. Your wealth isn't flashy, it's sacred. Your power isn't loud, it's unshakable. And your transformation doesn't need to be understood by others to be real. This placement invites you to reclaim your right to withhold until it's safe. You don't owe anyone instant vulnerability. Trust is earned. You can be soft and sovereign at the same time. Your energy is sacred, guarded like gold. You're also being called to reclaim your ability to surrender without losing yourself. True intimacy doesn't require self-erasure. You can open without dissolving. You can feel without drowning. Practice letting go without disappearing. You're also being called to reclaim emotional regeneration. You are a phoenix soul. Even your worst breakdowns hold keys to your breakthrough. Don't run from your darkness. Ask it what it came to teach you. Another reclamation is power as energy, not domination. You're not here to control or be controlled. You're here to channel, direct, and own your energy with fierce clarity. Wealth responds to unapologetic alignment. Next is to reclaim your trust in the void. Your soul grows in spaces most people avoid. Don't fear the in-between. Don't fear the silence. Your next upgrade lives in your willingness to stay when it's uncomfortable. Scorpio in the 8th house heals when you stop outsourcing your power and start honoring your emotional intelligence as a superpower. You are not meant for shallow wealth. You are here for generational breakthroughs, soul-aligned prosperity, and legacy-level healing. The first step to achieving this is to perform a cord cutting with past power leaks. Whether it's a toxic ex, family, or self-image rooted in trauma, cut the energy. Your field must be cleared for wealth to land. You can't manifest from a battlefield. Next is to transmute. Don't suppress. Let yourself cry, rage, write, breathe, scream, create. The emotion isn't a block. It's a bridge. Stop judging your intensity. Move it through your body until it becomes art, clarity, or truth. Next is to create wealth containers that feel sacred, not survival-based. You don't need to monetize your trauma. You don't need to share every wound to prove your depth. Build offerings, systems, and income streams from your wholeness, not your pain. Next is to detox the belief that love has to hurt. You don't have to be broken to be loved. Rewrite the story. Begin expecting peace, safety, and consistency in your emotional and financial partnerships. And finally, let the death be the portal. Scorpio in the 8th will take you through many identity deaths. Let them come. Release the expired versions of yourself with reverence. Your wealth lives on the other side of what you've been afraid to lose. A great affirmation for your Scorpio-ruled 8th house is, my power is sacred. I trust the death, the silence, and the void. I allow deep transformation to unlock soul-aligned wealth. Let's make this a chart therapy session and share your thoughts in the comments below. And be sure to give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe so the universe keeps us synced. And if you're ready for clarity, my As Above, So Within astrology journal gives you over 100 prompts to uncover your purpose and patterns. So start your deep dive today. The link is below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Sagittarius in the 8th house means that your wealth frequency is about expansive magnetism through transformation. Sagittarius in the 8th house is a soul contract to expand through surrender. You were born with the ability to magnetize wealth, power, and opportunities when you stop clinging to certainty and allow life to initiate you. This is the house of intimacy, energy exchange, and manifestation, meaning your Sagittarius energy gets expressed through deep transformation, not surface level optimism. You attract abundance when you trust the unknown, release control, and leap into the wild ride of soul growth. But this isn't reckless manifestation. It's aligned risk, soul-aligned adventure, and truth-led expansion. Your magnetism grows when you treat your spiritual path like a quest, not a checklist. When you follow what lights you up, even when it doesn't make logical sense. Your soul came here to discover that wealth flows when you stop trying to figure it out and start becoming the version of you who can receive it. Sagittarius here may carry a karmic fear of being trapped financially, emotionally, or energetically. So you keep moving, dreaming, chasing something just out of reach. But if you're always running toward the next goal, person, or idea, you may be unconsciously running from the vulnerability this house requires. This placement can manifest as avoiding financial intimacy or long-term commitments, manifesting freedom instead of wealth because wealth feels like responsibility, romanticizing struggle as part of the spiritual journey, or tuning out the shadow work and staying in good vibes only mode. You came here to realize that freedom isn't the absence of depth. It's the reward of being able to hold it. The wealth you're meant to attract doesn't come from knowing everything. It comes from trusting yourself, even when you don't. Your wisdom is your wealth. Your truth is magnetic, and your lived experiences are the currency your soul came here to exchange. You're not here to avoid the underworld. You're here to bring light into it, to turn transformation into teaching, to alchemize your own journey into something others can learn from. This placement invites you to reclaim faith in the unknown and your ability to thrive inside it. It invites you to reclaim your voice as a powerful tool for influence and impact, as well as reclaiming sacred intimacy, not just with others, but with your own depth. And also to reclaim money as a tool for freedom, not a threat to it. Healing displacement is about turning your truth into power. Sagittarius in the 8th house teaches you that manifestation isn't just about mindset, it's about energetic congruence. When your desires, actions, and soul mission are in harmony, wealth flows. The first step to achieving this is to let transformation be your teacher. Instead of avoiding your shadow work, document it, write it, teach it. Let others witness your evolution and be transformed by it. Next is to let freedom come from inner certainty, not outer escape. You don't need to leave to feel liberated. Real freedom is internal. It's the ability to stay rooted in your truth even when life gets intense. Instead of searching for the next escape hatch, anchor into your intuition. Ask yourself, where am I mistaking movement for growth? Let clarity, not chaos, be your compass. Next is to transform wealth into a sacred expansion of self. Money is your amplifier. Let it stretch you in the best ways. Practice receiving without guilt, holding without fear, and circulating wealth in ways that feel expansive, not depleting. The more grounded your values, the more magnetic your energy becomes. Reclaim wealth as your soul's tool for generous, purpose-driven expansion. Next is to stop escaping what's asking you to expand. You can't manifest the next level if you're still resisting the mirror. Let your relationships, triggers, and financial patterns teach you what's ready to shift. Next is to anchor your vision with embodied action. Sagittarius dreams big, but manifestation means more than hope. Take grounded steps toward the vision, even if it's messy or unclear. And finally, own your voice as a manifestation tool. You speak things into reality. Your words carry frequency. Speak your wealth into existence like a prophecy, not a maybe. A great affirmation for your Sagittarius-ruled 8th house is, I trust the wealth of my truth. I no longer fear the depths. I rise through them. My freedom is found in alignment, and my abundance expands when I do. Be sure to let me know what part hit home for you in the comments below. And of course, hit that like button, send this to someone who needs it, and subscribe for more star-powered clarity. And your chart already holds the answers. My As Above, So Within guided journal helps you pull them out and put them on paper so you can finally see who you're becoming. So be sure to check it out. The links are below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. With Capricorn ruling your 8th house, you are here to build empires that last energetically, financially, and spiritually. But unlike the textbook Capricorn energy that's focused on external success, your wealth frequency lives in your inner infrastructure. Your real power lies in your ability to stabilize transformation, to build grounded, tangible wealth from even the most chaotic emotional seasons. You are a transmuter, someone who can alchemize pain into purpose, scarcity into structure, fear into financial strength. But to do that, you must stop wearing resilience like a mask. True wealth for you is rooted in emotional sustainability, not performance, pressure, or perfection. This placement asks you to stop proving and start receiving. Stop hustling through your wounds and start anchoring into your worth. You're not here to chase the finish line. You're here to become the mountain. Capricorn in the 8th house often carries a karmic belief that says, if I'm not carrying the weight, I'm not worthy of the reward. This manifests as over-responsibility, emotional control, and an addiction to doing it all yourself. Here's what needs to go. First, the strong one identity. You don't need to be the emotional anchor for everyone in order to be valued. Begin unraveling the belief that strength means silence, solitude, or self-abandonment. Next is to release the grind equals glory myth. Just because it's hard doesn't mean it's worthy. Your soul came to master the art of aligned effort, not chaotic exhaustion. Working harder is not the same as receiving more. Next is releasing delayed gratification as a personality trait. Stop postponing your happiness, your wealth, your softness. You're allowed to feel good now, not just after everything is handled. Another is to release success without support. Let go of the belief that needing help makes you weak. There is strength in surrender, and there is power in partnership with the divine. This placement invites you to reclaim the version of you who doesn't just perform strength, but embodies grounded power. The you who manifests through mastery, not martyrdom. You're here to reclaim sacred structure. You don't need to manifest through chaos. Your soul thrives in frameworks that feel safe and supportive. Build systems that honor your cycles and nourish your nervous system. You're also here to reclaim aligned authority. You have ancient leadership codes, but your leadership doesn't require force. It requires integrity. Reclaim your right to lead from your inner truth, not external obligation. Next is reclaiming spiritual maturity. You were born with a deep understanding of energetic laws. Your ability to hold complexity makes you a powerful healer, mentor, or guide. Stop shrinking from your depth. Also, reclaiming wealth built to last. Your path to abundance isn't fast. It's fortified. You magnetize wealth when you treat it as legacy, not a quick fix. Reclaim your right to sustainable success. Your 8th house is where your soul is learning to receive wealth without sacrificing yourself for it. It's where you're asked to stop overperforming and start co-creating. The first step to achieving this is to reclaim your energy from emotional overmanagement. You are not responsible for fixing everything. Begin to notice when you're solving problems that were never yours. Practice releasing guilt for not being the strong one in every room. Next is to rewire your nervous system to hold more wealth and power. If your body tenses every time more is asked of you, more will begin to feel like a threat. Practice staying present when good things happen. Learn to let ease feel safe. Next is to soften your armor without losing your power. Let yourself be seen without the mask of control. Let people into your real emotional world. You don't have to be unshakable to be worthy. You're allowed to be human and still strong. Next is to let divine timing replace inner deadlines. Capricorn energy can rush healing in the name of progress. But your 8th house wants you to evolve deeply, not quickly. Let things unfold. Trust that even the delay has purpose. Next is to create legacy through alignment, not sacrifice. Start asking, does this path honor my body, my spirit, and my happiness? You don't have to bleed for your mission. Build systems that nourish you and support the impact you're here to make. And finally, step into the role of energetic architect. Your soul came here to build, but not just externally. You're here to design internal systems too. Rituals, beliefs, containers that support your capacity to hold wealth. Your power is in how you build what lasts. A great affirmation for your Capricorn-ruled 8th house is, I manifest from inner mastery. I build wealth that supports my spirit, nourishes my body, and expands with ease. My legacy is rooted in truth, not sacrifice. Be sure to let me know what resonated most for you in the comments below. And of course, tap that like button, share the vibes, and subscribe so the stars always find you. And if you're ready to stop skimming the surface of astrology and actually apply it to your life, my As Above, So Within journal guides you through your chart with soul-stirring prompts designed to unlock clarity and direction. Be sure to check it out. The links are below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Aquarius in the 8th house means your wealth frequency is about revolution from the inside out. Aquarius in the 8th house makes you a soul disruptor, born with energetic codes that challenge everything you've been taught about wealth, power, intimacy, and healing. You are not here to follow the blueprint. You're here to rewrite it. This placement often indicates a karmic inheritance of alienation or emotional detachment. You may have grown up feeling like you didn't fit into your family system or societal norms, especially when it came to emotional closeness or shared resources. This created a self-protective shell. You became independent, self-reliant, and energetically sovereign, not because you wanted to be, but because you had to be. But the truth is, you were never meant to go it alone forever. You are here to experience deep energetic connection, shared transformation, and aligned abundance on your terms. You are here to build a new way of being in power, not through control, but through consciousness. Your wealth flows when you allow your most authentic, unconventional self to take up space, especially in the spaces where others are still asleep. You are meant to magnetize resources by being ahead of your time, emotionally intelligent, and radically unafraid to question the system. There is a deep-rooted fear here that being emotionally close, financially tied, or spiritually merged with others will strip you of your individuality. And at some point in your life, that may have felt true. You may have experienced manipulation, pressure to conform, betrayal by a group, or enmeshment disguised as connection. But Aquarius in the 8th house can also create false safety in disconnection. You may avoid merging with others, not just romantically or sexually, but energetically, emotionally, financially, because you fear it will cost you your freedom. And the result of this is a closed heart masked by cool logic, an armored nervous system masked by independence. For you, there's a few things that are ready to be released. One being the belief that needing people makes you weak. Releasing the fear that intimacy equals control, or that merging will make you lose yourself. Avoidance of vulnerability, especially when it comes to money, sex, or emotional support. Releasing the habit of over-detachment, escaping into mental realms instead of feeling the depth. Releasing isolation in moments where your healing actually requires community, as well as releasing shame around being different, too much, or too hard to love. You are not here to reject closeness. You're here to redefine it. The type of connection that nourishes your soul doesn't cost you your freedom. It expands it. Aquarius in the 8th house asks you to reclaim a version of power, intimacy, and abundance that is uniquely yours. You are here to embody a wealth frequency that is nonlinear, intuitive, rebellious, and electric. You magnetize opportunities, healing, and even money when you stop trying to fit in and fully lean into what makes you original. This placement says you don't just earn money, you channel it. You don't just experience transformation, you catalyze it. You don't just receive love, you revolutionize it. This placement invites you to reclaim energetic intimacy that honors your autonomy, emotional depth that doesn't require performance, financial freedom through innovation, not conformity, magnetic power in being misunderstood but fully expressed, healing as a collective act, not a solitary burden, and freedom-based abundance sourced from your soul, not tradition. You are meant to weave your future through collaboration, innovation, and aligned connection, not by rejecting all forms of closeness, but by choosing the ones that honor your frequency. This placement is not about becoming more normal or emotionally available in the traditional sense. It's about creating new blueprints for what intimacy and abundance can be. Aquarius in the eighth wants you to stop negotiating your authenticity for approval and instead allow your full self to be seen, supported, and sovereign. The first step to achieving this is to break the rules that don't fit your frequency. Audit your life. Where are you still following rules around money, love, or healing that never aligned with your soul? Start naming the codes you inherited and start breaking them. You are here to liberate, not replicate. Next is to let emotional intimacy feel like freedom, not entanglement. You don't have to disappear to stay safe. Start practicing emotional presence without self-erasure. Let people into the parts of you that feel unfiltered, strange, raw, or unknown. That's where the real connection lives. Next is to rewrite the story around shared power. Being in deep partnership, whether financial, romantic, or spiritual, doesn't mean you lose your power. It means you evolve through shared consciousness. Practice staying in your energy field even while you open your heart. Next is to channel wealth through your genius, not your grind. The eighth house wants deep energetic output, and Aquarius wants genius. You're not meant to chase money. You're meant to attract it through alignment. That means trusting your visions, building new systems, and letting go of survival-based logic. Next is to heal the wound of feeling too different to belong. This placement often carries a karmic imprint of being cast out, judged, or punished for being other. That doesn't mean you're unworthy of support. Let your difference be the exact reason you receive. You belong to the future, and the future needs you. And finally, reclaim collective wealth as your birthright. You are here to steward a new economy, one that's built on energetic alignment, not extraction. So whether it's through cryptocurrency, spiritual services, creative projects, or conscious community, you are meant to build new pathways to abundance. Start trusting that what comes through you is enough. A great affirmation for your Aquarius-ruled eighth house is, I am safe to be seen, supported, and sovereign. My energy shapes the future, and I receive wealth by being exactly who I came here to be. Be sure to let me know what part hit home for you in the comments below. And of course, if this lit you up, hit like, share it with your soul squad, and subscribe so you never miss the next download. And if you're ready for clarity, my As Above, So Within astrology journal gives you over 100 prompts to uncover your purpose and patterns. So start your deep dive today. The link is in the description box below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Pisces in the eighth house means your wealth frequency is about mystical magnetism, and soul-level surrender. Pisces in the 8th house holds an invisible magnetism. You are naturally tuned into frequencies most people ignore: emotions, energetic shifts, soul contracts, psychic intuition, ancestral memory, and spiritual wealth. Your aura speaks before your words do. People feel your energy before they meet you. You have the power to heal, attract, and transform through unseen realms. But this psychic sensitivity is a double-edged sword. When ungrounded, you may absorb others' pain and confuse it as your own. You may attract trauma bonds, chaotic relationships, or financial instability that mirrors your unconscious belief that suffering is somehow spiritual. This placement often carries past life residue or early conditioning around sacrifice, especially when it comes to money, love, and emotional support. Yet, at your highest expression, you are a divine channel for wealth that transcends logic. Your ability to dissolve ego, trust the unseen, and surrender to divine flow makes you a powerful manifester, not through force, but through frequency. Pisces in the 8th house is not here to play by the rules of scarcity. You're here to embody spiritual richness in material form. This placement often carries a heavy spiritual inheritance, the belief that to be good, pure, or worthy, you must suffer. This shows up as overgiving, under-earning, attracting broken people, or feeling guilt around having more than others. You may subconsciously believe that being financially empowered or emotionally supported makes you less spiritual. It's time to let go of the illusion that sacrifice is your sacred role. Being a healer, empath, or spiritual being does not require you to be drained, broke, or emotionally depleted. With this placement, there are a few items that are ready to be released. One of them being the belief that being selfless means abandoning yourself. Guilt around financial or emotional abundance. The tendency to take on others' pain and carry it as your own. Avoidance of grounded money management or healthy energetic boundaries. Disempowering soul contracts rooted in saving others. And the subconscious fear that if you become powerful, you'll lose your spiritual connection. Release the energetic identity that was built around pain, chaos, and codependency. You don't need to prove your worth by bleeding for others. Pisces in the 8th house calls you to reclaim the parts of you that already know how to merge with the divine and magnetize from your soul. You're not meant to push. You're meant to allow. When you trust the flow of life and listen to your intuition, abundance naturally finds you because you are the vessel. This placement invites you to reclaim receiving as your spiritual practice, not just giving. Energetic discernment that protects your channel. Trust in divine timing and cosmic orchestration. A healthy relationship with money as a neutral, sacred tool. Reclaiming your power as a mystic, medium, healer, or creative intuitive. And reclaiming the right to rest, receive, and be held without shame. Your wealth comes from who you are, not what you do. But to access it, you must stop sacrificing your energy to people or patterns that drain your spirit. Your healing path is about remembering that spiritual and material life are not separate. You're here to bring heaven to earth, not escape into one or suffer in the other. True transformation for you happens when you create energetic structures that hold your magic without leaking your power. The first step to achieving this is clear energetic contracts that keep you spiritually indebted. You may be unconsciously bonded to people, lineages, or belief systems that guilt you out of your power. Release any ties where your role is to fix, save, or suffer for others' healing. It's not yours to carry. Next is to anchor your intuition into embodiment. Your spiritual gifts are real, but they need a container. Practice grounding after psychic downloads, anchoring your emotions in the body, and creating rituals that support your nervous system. Safe structure equals stronger magic. Next is to redefine worthiness beyond suffering. You don't need to earn love through pain or wealth through sacrifice. Let yourself receive ease without guilt. Being spiritually attuned doesn't mean you have to struggle. In fact, your joy is a portal for others. Next is to heal the avoidance of financial stewardship. Spiritual people often fear being too focused on money, but this is your edge. Start by tending to your finances with love, not fear. Align your wealth with your values. Budgeting can be a spell. Investing can be a prayer. Next is to let go of the savior complex. Your energy is powerful, but it's not your job to rescue others from their karma. Hold space without absorbing. Love without leaking. Trust that your presence alone is enough to ripple healing. And finally, reclaim the magic of receiving with no strings attached. You've given lifetime's worth of energy. It's time to let life give to you. Open your hands. Say yes to the miracle you don't have to earn. Let people pour into you. Let the divine refill you. You are worthy of overflow. A great affirmation for your Pisces-ruled 8th house is, I release the need to suffer for love or abundance. My energy is sacred, supported, and sovereign. I am worthy of divine flow, and I receive with grace. Be sure to chat with me in the comments and let me know what resonated with you. And of course, give this video a thumbs up, pass it to your astrology besties, and subscribe for more cosmic truths. And if you're tired of repeating old patterns, My Venus Activation Journal walks you through reconnecting with your self-worth and rewriting your love story from the inside out. So be sure to grab it. The links are below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching.